The time has come, Tom. We're exploring the decade. We're stretching. We're flexing. We're spreading our wings, and that brought us to this day. Today is that day where we talk about a band from Colorado. And today we learned
from my old area code.
I know it's one of the most confusing names to type, but it's a pretty simple. Yeah, it's your old area code. Who are we talking about today, buddy?
303.
Oh boy, here we go.
I lived in that area code for 4 years and never put it together.
Yeah, neither did I. I guess it's that simple. They're just a couple of dudes who like to hike mountains and eat sushi, and just some Boulder bros who made it big. I guess they got their start playing parties and having fun, stretching some genres, and the rest is history. We have a lot to get to today, especially the release of the 2010-ish classic When in Rome featuring Kristen Bell, and honestly a pretty star-studded comedic cast, but
yeah,
more on that later.
We might try to get to that before you head out here. Right. I'd love to.
It looks like Bobby Moynihan was in like the first few things of the trailer. It's like a joint release with the song a little bit. They like feature it heavily in the trailer, like featuring 303, featuring Katy Perry, Starstruck, which is the song we're talking about today. But anyway, let's start the show.
All right. What is going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
And I'm Pat.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast. Yeah, so you've mentioned this for like months and months and months. I honestly do not know 303 at all. We had mentioned about like getting into like pop month. I'd really love to talk about Katy Perry. Also, after a little digging on YouTube, uncovered footage of her performing at Warped Tour, which is confusing to say the least.
Yeah, so there were two, like, before we even thought about maybe doing a pop month someday, the two pop music videos that I guess have been in my brain were Day to Remember, Kelly Clarkson, Something About Since You've Been Gone, and this music video pretty specifically because Katy Perry, there was a Warped Tour version of her whole career that I thought would be worth touching on, and this felt like a nice gateway into broaching the subject.
Yeah.
Considering that we were going to have to talk about 303 at some point. Or maybe you could argue that we definitely super didn't have to. But I think, we do enough late Neon era stuff that there was like some weird punk goes crunk, but that became a band kind of. Like, yeah. And for better or worse, they were absolutely huge.
Yeah.
With Katy Perry's help, we should note.
It's shocking that we just recorded the Pressure episode by Paramore yesterday, and we were floored that it only received about 500,000 downloads or purchases, and we came into 303 with like 1.5 million. What the f***? Like,
oh my God.
How is this band so huge?
Yes, perception is reality in the sense that it's not at all. And when we learn, you get a peek behind the curtain, and it's like, there's a frame in the video where they shoot a gold record. I'm like, is that the gold record from Don't Trust Me that came out like a few months before this? Like the first single off their second album, I guess. But
oh my God.
Yes. I do have a very important question before we go any further.
Okay.
And you need to just take a deep breath. Is 303 pop punk's Florida Georgia line, or is Florida Georgia line country's pop 303? I f***ed that up. I knew I was going to f*** it up. There's too many words to say. Just
yes to
guys
all.
Being dudes, dude. Yes to all. Okay. Just a couple of buds trying to make it honest, singing some songs, man.
Some super problematic songs, right? But no one gave a shit about anything in 2007, I think.
So what's interesting is we were reading an interview where they were like, do you regret the Helen Keller line? Do you regret the literal cat call built into Starstruck, the song we're discussing today? And they were talking about their roots in Colorado doing like wannabe party rocks. Not wannabe. I mean, like, they were just going to parties and genre stretching as almost not a joke. They weren't like Weird Al by any means, I don't think. But it just, in the MySpace era, they credited a lot to MySpace. Like, yeah, we put it online and it just kind of happened for us organically. Not that they weren't trying or anything like that. But, at the time when they wrote those lyrics and were making these jokes or whatever, and they were just trying to be fun or funny or exciting at parties, they admitted, like, if we knew we were going to be, like, in a music video with Katy Perry years later, like, maybe we would have rethought the lyrics. But, like, I don't know. It seems so inconsequential at the time, which was kind of, this is their second studio album, but, like, after Don't Trust Me came out, they were kind of huge for a minute. I know my wife in high school was like, had a 303 face, like unapologetically. She really 100%.
Oh my God.
That she was that deep into the scene. And I'm saying that because I'm admitting she's more of a hardcore emo kid than I was. And so hardcore that there was a stretch where she legitimately would have been like, I think they're pretty good.
I totally missed it. I don't know what I was doing at this time. I knew 303 existed. I knew their logo, which is actually pretty cool. The hand thing. You can throw up a quick little gang sign for 303. I love the idea of Punk Goes Crunk start like in a band form.
Well, it's weird. You're like, give me something the kids will cry for. Give me something the kids will like weirdly be into. And then it's like, okay, what's the band version of that? Like, I don't know. We talk about kind of the 4 Years Strong, A Day to Remember, Saves the Day to, or I don't know, like kind of the fest, like, oh no, this is a sound that we can sell. It's almost like when an actor breaks into Hollywood and you can figure it out, like Napoleon Dynamite, what can we use John Heater for?
Right.
Jack Black, like how many different movies can we make the Jack Black character be in or whatever? It's just kind of like, we can sell this. This is something people accept in like in pop culture. So it's kind of like, 303 represents what this, who did the Punk Goes series again?
Fearless.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, these sell. Give me a record that, like not rocket science or evil by any means, I guess necessarily. It's just like, okay, this can sell. So these dudes are doing this kind of. Let me ask you this. Is it catchy? Do you like, the answer is obviously, but like, do you feel bad about it? Or it's just
I think not even a little.
Oh, okay.
I think this song fucking sucks, dude.
Okay.
Like everything about it is pure trash to me. But did you ever hear the band Brokencyde? Do you remember that?
I didn't.
Oh my God. I feel like you must have seen the music video.
Give me your thoughts.
They had a song called, I think it was called Let's Get Freaky, and it was like this really low quality electronic production in like pig squeals and just like wow. Like
some
every
of those,
now and then. Let's get freaky now. Let's get freaky now. Wow, let's get freaky now.
Some of those like really late scene emo crunky rappy are makes you thankful for 303 doing it in like maybe a more palatable way. I don't know, but some of those late very emo very crunk videos that kind of surface on scene Twitter are like, wow, man, there were corners of this that were people trying to get a little buzz going by doing really insane shit. Sounds like that's a good example of that.
It's an anomaly for sure. I think Soulja Boy was like around this time, so like, and everyone knew that song. So I think someone was looking for like a little bit of genre bending stuff, and here we are.
Yeah. So one of our newest Twitter followers brought up the fact that all of your cover drafts are missing the fact that, or all of your cover song drafts missed the fact that everyone was listening to the Soulja Boy Screamo cover at the time, and it's like
I set my friends on fire.
Too true, dude. Too true. Okay, so genres are being bent. What are the fast facts on this one?
Somehow, God.
So let me set the stage a little bit. Second album, Don't Trust Me, just came out, and then Starstruck featuring Katy Perry is a remix or like a second version of the song.
Yes.
That did much better than the original, and there's a second video for that second version with KP.
Yeah, and I do later
Not our
on
Patreon supporter KP. Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. I do want to talk about how underutilized Katy Perry was in this song, and it made sense once we listened to the original without her. But anyways, somehow this charted on Billboard Hot 100 at number 66, U.S. mainstream top 40, number 25.
All American Rejects numbers, dude.
Platinum in the U.S. Yeah.
Platinum. We recently recorded a Pressure by Paramore episode
that only went gold.
I know. Retroactively. Oh. None of the songs
like 12 years later.
I know. None of the songs off All We Know Is Falling even really charted at the time at all. It was all after Riot popped. Anyway, we're not here to still be mad about that, which every episode we should mention the fact that none of the All We Know Is Falling songs charted at the time.
I don't know. I think it just goes to show like the general commercial consumer of broadcast radio is a big old dum-dum for the most part. Like,
the CEO of Hot Topic is screwing us all over, man. The ruling class. What are we going to do about it?
Which, hey, you know
what?
We
do the Set Your Goals episode.
That might be foreshadowing to next week.
Okay. The second single to be released from their second studio album, Want, in 2008. The radio-only and deluxe album version is the Katy Perry version. Considerable success worldwide. Top 10 in the charts in Australia, Belgium, Finland, Poland, I thought that said Portland. I'm like, oh, the independent nation of Portland, Ireland and the United Kingdom. As we mentioned, the follow-up to the debut single, Don't Trust Me, off that record. Pretty interesting director situation here as we kind of flow into the music video part of the episode.
Yeah, the drummer of Sum 41 was one of the directors.
Yeah.
I never thought, I had no idea. I've never seen his name come across anything. I don't know if this was his.
Do you want to never talk about Sum 41 on the show again because of this? Or no, I'm just kidding.
Well, what was interesting is they have a behind the scenes video, and they showed like pencil sketched like storyboards and like frame by frame like their shot sequences. Like, oh, someone actually thought this video out. Like very well.
A little more high budget than the original music video for the song without Katy Perry, which is them just like surrounded by human bodies and their heads are really close together. One thing that stays true to the original in this is there's a lot of faces that are near each other. They're just people all over each other is kind of the general through line.
Not fans of subtlety, this band will say that.
They introduced Katy Perry on that behind the scenes thing for the music video. She said, so they were touring together. They had toured with her in the UK and everything. So they were like friends, legitimate buddies. And at the time, she was less huge, maybe a touch.
This is
still
Teenage Dream.
Maybe loosely Warped Tour or Katy Perry, but they had a large. She was acknowledging that they had a huge buzz. And she, again, they're buddies from Warped Tour. And she was like, this video is, quote, a bit more sultry than I usually do, but I'd only do it for those boys. A bit more sultry. This is definitely...
Things changed quickly.
A little bit.
For her.
A little bit. Snoop Dogg spraying whipped cream out of his nips and stuff would come. Or I'm getting a few of those details mixed up from the California Girls music video. But nonetheless... Should we just get to it? Get to the video? Should we talk about the movie it's based off of and joint with? I mean, When in Rome plays a weirdly large part in this.
Yeah, so...
Actually, real quick, tweet @_ReminiscentFM if we should do a When in Rome watch party, because that cast is incredible.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's the funniest movie ever released. I'm actually very intrigued by it, and I do really want to watch it.
Yeah, I'd like to get to that.
Big time in the trailer, though.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, we were watching the behind the scenes, and the director, either Mark, we have talked about Mark Glassfeld before. It was either him or Steve, the drummer of Sum 41, was like, it's loosely based on the movie When in Rome, but the guys wanted to like put their own spin onto it, which, first of all, they absolutely didn't. They just put like two shots that absolutely weren't connected to the video at all and called it their own.
Yeah,
but...
Kristen Bell goes to Rome. Her ex is getting married, but she's going to her sister's wedding. She meets this guy whose rom-com best friend is Bobby Moynihan, which is very exciting for me personally. I really want to watch this movie if I haven't mentioned that already. But yeah, there's like this tradition where, something about the fountain and the coins, but she picks up some coins from the fountain. And Will Arnett, Dax Shepard, Danny DeVito, and John Heder, I believe, is the fourth, are become obsessed with her because the coin in the fountain, there's like this special kind of spell. And she's, as she's trying to date this very nice guy she met at the wedding, after embarrassing herself in front of her sister, blah, 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 like the bridesmaids, whatever, she's trying to shake off Dax Shepard and everything like that. You raised a very good question about whether or not her and Dax were married at the time, or did they meet on set. There's a lot of lore behind this movie. I'm saying it might be a very important movie to the zeitgeist, but, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, when they said that we took our own inversion of the script, loosely or directly or more specifically, it's the coin in the fountain thing is the general basis for this whole Katy Perry music video. And they shot in LA at a fountain. Where was it?
Exposition Park at the Rose Garden or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And it opens up and they're sitting there and they're just some guys being dudes being fellas, sitting at a fountain enjoying a nice sunny day and
just checking out the local strange.
Oh my God.
Not that I would say that. I feel like they would say that.
Oh my God.
Chasing tail.
Oh God.
Creeping on some fillies.
I refuse to yes and this.
Scoping out the.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, I'm done. I'm so sorry.
Scooping cash and.
Oh my God. We're going to lose listeners.
Programming note, bleep most of that. Please. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, either way. So there's guys being dudes sitting there at the fountain and they pick up a quarter. No, they watch a woman who seems to be not forlorn, maybe a little distraught. She's like really hoping for a wish, tosses it in. She walks over to a gentleman on the other side of the pond. And the taller, skinnier one, I have not memorized their names. Apologies to everyone for everything, as always. But he picks it up, and she immediately turns around, beelines, runs, and they make out. But they don't fall into the fountain or anything. They're just like making out pretty hardcore, and the friend reacts accordingly.
Yeah, her like head snaps. She gets this like almost like a snarl on her face and just sprints at the dude, and they start making out. And I think they quickly realize the way this world mechanics work, and they just immediately start grabbing all of the coins in the fountain, as many as they can, which I kind of thought like, so first of all, that means all of these coins were attached to a wish of a woman wishing for a man, right? Like that's...
Well, we learn later that... So yeah, you pointed out, and I agreed. You were saying like you'd think it'd be mostly desperate dudes tossing coins,
right?
Deeper into the fountain, because they scoop a bunch of coins from the edge. From the edge,
right on the edge. It's like someone just kind of lazily dropped the coin out of their hand. But like,
if you're wishing, you're flicking that thing.
You're throwing it towards the center. Also, like
flicking it, pulling it.
Also, all of these women are like fairly attractive. You don't think that like they would have to go stoop to the level like we haven't all thrown a coin into a fountain.
Everybody's human,
like we
man.
all
Everybody's
haven't
human.
Wished for, you know.
But I think what you're arguing, from what I'm hearing, is that there would have been more of a mix of every walk of life. It wouldn't
be all attractive women. It would be mostly creepy dudes.
Quickly into the video, you see Katy Perry, and this is a nod to the movie When in Rome, the classic, a nod to the classic,
critically acclaimed.
She pulls a poker chip, which, you know, is kind of from the movie in the guy. So in this music video, guys wish on poker chips and fountains, and girls wish on coins, and there's many more coins. But to your point, yeah, there would have been maybe a larger mix of walks of life for this one. And then essentially Katy Perry's just in the mix, right? And they're all singing. Their faces are really, really close. And, you know, there's not I mean, we're going to have some cutscenes, and the boys are going to go on an adventure. They're going to be rock climbing at one point, like some Boulder boys would. But, you know, they're there, they're singing. People are running towards the fountain throughout the rest of the video. It takes a while. They're coming from far and wide.
That's pretty much the video.
No. There's cutscenes. There's cutscenes.
Yeah, there's some stuff that makes it kind of worth watching.
And again, keep in mind, it's a little more sultry than Katy Perry would use.
Yeah, a little more.
It was very interesting behind the scenes of the music video with the Sum 41 and Katy Perry interviews. I don't know. I was like, there's a lot of star power behind this video, which has such a 303 brought all these people together.
It was interesting to see Katy Perry not super famous at the time, because she seemed like a little nervous, didn't really quite know what to say, and it was like, wow, Katy Perry, like just stumbling over her words. Like super, you know, years later she would play the Super Bowl and ride on the More You Know star.
Also, as far as like tour docs go, hers was great. I liked it a lot.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I know
we were going to prep for an episode years ago before we figured out the show, and we were like, let's talk about the Taylor Swift Katy Perry beef at the time was like popping off, and I watched that, and you watched the Taylor Swift one, and we just weren't prepared for the episode. Anyway, the show's come a long way, as we mentioned every time we record. But no, yeah, this was definitely pre California Girls, pre super fame, but it seems like they were legitimate friends, which is kind of very interesting to me. Warped Tour, Katy Perry. I mean, what a ride. What a roller coaster ride. I mean, we're here to talk about 303, I guess, but also like Katy Perry came in, added a lot to the song, added a ton to the video. Some 41's involved. There's just a lot of people doing a lot of things. It's an interesting spectacle. Yeah,
lots of lore behind it that I would not have ever considered had you not been hammering the idea of doing this video for probably a full fiscal year at this point.
Let's just pause right here. So you were just not aware of 303 at all in high school?
Not really. I just
0%.
So this came out when? 2008?
The crunk phase that infiltrated every aspect of society did not touch Tom Kelly in his basement playing RuneScape. You just didn't know them or refused to acknowledge them?
It never graced my iPod. No one ever encouraged me to listen.
There was never a moment and they were like, dude, did you hear this band? They talk about Helen Keller in one of their songs. Like that was never something that was said to you in the lunchroom. I have trouble believing that.
I don't know, man.
Fair enough.
It just never came across my desk. I don't know what was I listening to in 2009. Probably a lot of Attack Attack. So like not too far removed from what the is going on here. But
should we explore that a little bit? The other side of that, like weird. Are you saying like Attack Attack was like
Brokencyde was like in the middle of 303 and Attack Attack? I feel like, but they were just awful.
Okay, so there's a branch
bad.
coming off the tree of emo, and they're all on this very weird branch.
Yes.
We talk about other branches, Khaki Rock, Reliant K, Andrew McMahon, all that stuff. We talk about Day to Remember, Set Your Goals, all those bands and everything like that. And this is a different, very weird branch that's dead. Like the lightning struck this part of the tree maybe a little bit.
I think
stretching like you're allowed to say, Pat, stop it right there. What
no,
the f- does that even mean?
I'm not super familiar with the band, but I think Water Parks kind of bleeds a little bit into more of a rhythmic speaking type of thing. I could be totally off. I remember watching their videos, just not vibing it, but they are like the biggest quote unquote pop punk band at the time.
Whoa.
And there's like, if I might be totally off, but I think there's a tiny bit of a resurgence of like, oh, let's get a little rhythmic with this. Like not straight rapping, but yeah.
You were skeptical to do this video at all, but these are two very interesting things. You just tied Attack Attack. No, I'm not making fun. I'm not like, I think this is a very interesting because like all of this is tied to why we started this show. And you're saying there's a part of the branch that has Water Parks and Attack Attack, only a few, parts removed from what 303 was doing, which we're assuming was some exec's bright idea after, again, crazy assumptions going on here. But after Punk Goes Crunk, like, oh no, they're into it. So let's find a band that does this.
Right. The execs from the Mutiny music video, after getting turned down by Set Your
Yes,
Goals,
exactly.
went right to this fountain in Exposition Park or whatever.
Listen, Hot Topic team of, go find me a crunk band. And then Attack Attack after that. And then Water Parks after that. But I'm just saying, like, that's interesting that you think they're tied because I think there has to be some truth if it popped into your mind. I don't know. Do you want to expand on it or just move on? Do you want to abandon the take, abandon ship, or give up all hope, or whatever the song title is?
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh, damn. Okay. I was very interested by that notion.
I don't really have much else. I don't know. I'm not a pop punk historian. I haven't done 210 episodes of a pop punk podcast.
It's too early in the morning to be doubting yourself this hard, Tom. I thought it was a very interesting take that Attack Attack was only a few things removed, but we can move on.
It's related enough.
@_reminiscent FM. What do you think? Is this a specific part of the tree that all these? I think you're right. I think you're onto something there. But Water Parks, we're gonna get some Water Park stands in the comments.
I'm worried that I'm misremembering their music and I'm just way off base. Is why I'm trying to abandon this take.
Gotcha. Okay, so forget we talked about Water Parks at all.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the episode, but let me break in to thank our Patreon supporters. These are our top tier contributors, our Council of Elders. In this group, we have Andre Prevost, Johnny Leftwich, Jason Carey, Anonymous, Chris Lukey, J.W. Johnson, and Nathan Eshelman. Thank you all so much for being here and for helping this show out. Thank you to everyone in our Patreon. If you'd like to check it out, you can head to patreon.com/reminiscent. You can find post shows for every single episode that we do, monthly AMAs, behind the scenes photos and videos, and all kinds of new and exclusive stuff happening in the Patreon. But either way, we're just happy you're here. Cannot thank you all enough. Thank you. And back to the, for better or for worse, the Starstruck episode.
Anyway, they're on a boat, and they're outside of Rome.
Which at first we were like, what is this, Budapest?
Like, Mediterranean-ish in the music video. This was before we learned that this was tied so directly into the movie When in Rome, the classic featuring Kristen Bell.
Critically acclaimed.
Champagne, martinis. When the music video starts, they have like scene tees on. When they're dancing with Katy Perry, they have black suits on. On this dinghy with martinis and champagne, they have white suits. And they're clinging, smiling at the camera, toasting. And this is the first of several just dudes being boys, guys being bros, just hanging out, doing different types of things. And there's like 3 or 4 of these cutscenes.
Yeah. And apparently...
that have nothing to do with the girl storyline.
Apparently, this, according to the behind the scenes, these cuts were the idea of the guys in the band themselves. Which is probably why it makes no sense to the rest of the video, but they wanted, a couple ideas of their own to be thrown in. One of them, I think there's a pretty good payoff with it, but it just doesn't make sense. But they can't just have girls running the whole video, so they had to do something to break it up.
Yeah, so the boat and the martinis, they're cheersing and smiling. The other one is they're in an alley and with leather jackets on, they grease her hair. They've just beat up a bunch of bikers. The extras in the behind the scenes, I guess they're going to beat us up or something. They said it kind of laughingly because of how much bigger than the band members they are.
Bikers are huge.
And they really only used the scene where they're standing over them after the one guy had fallen onto the ground and things like that. Love is just another word I'll never learn to pronounce, Tom.
Well, seems like they for sure can pronounce another word with just as few letters in it. So maybe they're just dumb.
We'll
talk about the word
Gotcha.
We figured that one out pretty quick.
So quail hunting is what's next.
Well, it's skeet shooting, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
sorry, I took the wrong note.
It's similar enough.
And they throw up a gold record and shoot it
with the 303.
Yes. Part of me was wondering, like, wow, shit, did Don't Trust Me go gold that fast? This band was freaking huge. Garganch, dude, garganch. I'm sorry, that was awful. But then there's actually kind of a, we both laughed. You have to admit, the rock climbing bit, the Boulder Boys are at it again, rock climbing. And they pull out some sushi and just start eating it. It was like
with chopsticks. At the top of a mountain, they pull out a tray of sushi and just start eating it. And they like smile at the camera. I lost it. I thought that was so fucking funny. It makes no sense, but and you were like, wow, this is pretty fart punk moment. Like,
yeah,
for sure, goofy as hell.
Well, you and I obviously aren't fans, but like, what's the argument for? No lack of enthusiasm, certainly. No lack of trying. Stage presence got better over time, I'm sure. Lyrics that at least catch your attention for questionable reasons, maybe. Building catcalls into songs, just putting catchy stuff together. Yes, indeed. If you whistle anymore, we're going to get sued. So, no, that's basically the whole song. But yeah, I mean, like, they are definitely, if nothing else, got the bravado, got the chutzpah. They are laying it all out there at their first chance for a big shoot, maybe the second chance for a big shoot here.
Okay, before we get to the moment where they take full advantage of Katy Perry being in this video, I want to talk about, again, I didn't know there was a version without Katy Perry. And like her whole thing is that she has a super strong, powerful voice. She writes catchy melodies. She's a fucking global pop star at this point. But when she's in this song, she's singing this terrible melody that's like not even in her range. And I was like, why is Katy Perry even here? She's so much better than this.
They're friends, man.
I know, but like, she's so good at what she does.
If you can't handle Katy Perry at her Snoop Dogg whipped cream, then if you can't handle her at her 303 Warped Tour stage presence with YouTube videos, then you don't deserve her at her Snoop Dogg whipped cream music video.
I thought Snoop Dogg, his little break-ins in that song were kind of annoying.
Oh man, just takes flying today.
California.
Throwing skeet shooting takes here on the show today. Just like throw them up, shoot them down. It is what it is.
So in the parts where she's singing, I was like, these are not good lyrics. It's not a good melody. This doesn't make any sense to me. And then when we watch the version without her, it's like, it's not a Katy Perry part. She's just singing the song that they wrote. But later on in the song, she gets like a verse, essentially, a whole new part. And it's like more of the voice we would like come to know of Katy Perry. And, she says a little more sultry. She is now in the fountain in a dress that is, we'll say sultry, right? And there's a lot of water.
Scene in Mean Girls where Regina George gets the chest circles cut out of her tank top. This dress is a replica of that look in a way.
And there's water everywhere, a la the Pressure music video, but they're selling sex in this one, not angst.
Sure. We're still, so like there's a lot of music videos that end as dreams. There's a lot of videos where people are storming the stage and checking out this new band. A lot of videos where people are just not dry, man. And similarly to the Bedroom Talk music video, I'll say this. I don't want to say anything more about that. They put her in the fountain and they let her go to work, and she does a fine job and brought a lot to this song. And it is what you are picturing, and you can watch it on YouTube if you'd like. and she kills it. She's a talented individual, and they bring it back, and the people who have been running this whole time are almost there. They're almost here, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then they arrive.
Swaths of women
and men. She picked up a few poker chips.
Yeah. Sprinting at the fountain, and like a fucking linebacker. I'm assuming linebackers tackle people.
You know this, Tom.
No, actually, is it? I know linebackers
I
are
don't
big.
believe you. Nothing you say has ever been real to me. Our friendship is built on lies. Yes.
I was taking a swing. Okay, linebackers.
Anybody can tackle anybody depending on...
But they're the stereotypical big ones, right?
They're all big boys.
They're all big?
They're all big.
I only know that from Blue Mountain State, from a bit they did.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. No, yeah. I think Terry, the office linebacker, was like a funny set of insurance commercials. I think it was insurance commercials back in the day. Yeah. People getting hit hard.
Okay.
But yeah, one of the ladies has good leverage for sure, proper form, and just takes the tall, skinny one and drives him into the fountain.
Yeah.
But they're all being driven into the fountain. It's kind of like a zombie horde thing at that point. They're just like, it gets kind of violent. But the boys are shocked, taken aback that our plan is working. Katy Perry doesn't seem to be getting tackled.
No.
But then the facade falls apart more than just Katy Perry not really being tackled. It's I'll let you take it.
Yeah, it cuts to the middle of the day, and the two guys are in like plain street clothes, just like splashing in the fountain, and we get a woo, and security is like, "Get the fuck out of there!"
Yeah.
And I don't.
Is it a dream music video or a hallucination
an acid
music video?
trip?
Yeah.
And Katy Perry was never real. I think she
the girls were never
completely
real.
disappears.
The movie When in Rome was never filmed in this scenario. Kristen Bell and Dak Shepard had never even met or ever got married in this version of events.
I thought that made the whole thing really, really funny, because it's like, when you
Nothing
see...
like a good silence goes out and someone says woo, or does the extra cheer at a game where you're just like, oh, I thought we were going for another round.
Right.
Fuck, guys, come on.
I mean, I think it's really hard to see like people who, especially like new fame, like thinking they're sexy, trying to be sexy, and like taking themselves really seriously. So I think that last bit was like the saving grace to this whole video. Like, oh, they're just joking. Like, they don't actually think they're these ballers, like these sex symbols. It's just like, woo.
I do think it comes back to like when they were asked about the Helen Keller line in that one interview. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm here with you now for reasons that I can't explain either. You know what I mean? Like, we just started playing at parties and having a good time, and because MySpace and the internet is now helping bands of all types rise up. I think Sean Kingston's career popped off because he just kept messaging people on MySpace relentlessly. Like, MySpace might go down as like the R2D2 of the whole thing, of the whole decade, like the MVP, really under the surface, what was driving everything and helping everybody out. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they were trying to be funny, but also had an ear for enough of a hook to be popular. They met some good friends at the right time.
Or is it just a bunch of dum-dums listeners?
So,
not to call your wife a dum-dum.
I'm going to try.
Sorry.
Hey, when you're deep in the scene, you have blinders on, man. It is what it is. I always say this, talking about Nickelback, like, you were there, man. You all loved it. I'm going to check myself and be like, would I have turned Don't Trust Me off the radio if it was on and I was driving to like my job at Waldemere or Chariot Park or something at the time? Like, it was, I don't even know if I considered it scene at the time. I was like, well, this is definitely weird. Like, it was one of those things where even at the time you were like, it's kind of strange. Like, I'd love to live in some precedented times for once. But
only millennial kids can relate.
No, it was definitely interesting, but it seems like, I guess what I'm getting at is they appear to be very self-aware of all of it the whole time. And they're on Cameo, both of them. They seem to have been aging well.
How much are they charging?
Not as much as the members of the Aquabats, I can say that much. So many Aquabats are on Cameo. It's jarring, actually. And not the good ones.
Oh my God. Wow.
We got in and out on this one. This one was a little quick, but I think I'm glad you agreed to do it. We touched on 303. We don't have to for a while. I don't have any
so excited
angst.
to never listen to them again.
I don't have anything against them, I suppose, unless we should. I don't really know much about them. We just watched the music video and then mostly watched the trailer for When in Rome a few times before filming this, which is a movie I really would love to watch.
Yeah.
And that it is what it was. They met friends at the right time to meet Katy Perry and be helped by her fame at the right time before she really popped. And then, they're just, you can find them on Cameo. I don't know what's the takeaway here. Is there one? Just seeing stuff was happening.
2009 was a super weird year.
Do you blame Fearless
everyone.
Records for combining punk with so many different types of things that spawned so many different projects? Again, we are making
more good than
leaps
bad
of assumptions.
More good than bad came out of
Gotcha.
that series.
Gotcha.
We'll say that.
Oh, is the takeaway that Lil Jon and the East Side Boys had a much larger imprint on the 2000s than maybe they get credit for?
Oh, yes.
I got nothing against Lil Jon. He's also an enthusiastic fellow. You can go far in America with some chutzpah. I will say that. Okay, everybody, this is a short one. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe in a single commute. I don't know. I hope you have a nice day. Or I hope your day was nice on the way home on the commute. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a little long
Hopefully
commute though,
everyone's
half
just
an hour.
doing a good time.
Find a job closer to your house. Or maybe everyone's telecommuting. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's really none of my business. I hope you're having a good time though, wherever you are. Tom, you having a good time?
Why do they call it telecommuting? You're not commuting.
You're commuting telepathically.
Anyways.
Yeah. We got a few. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you having a good day? You're having a good day because we are done with the 303 episode I'm asking you to do for so long. I thought it was appropriate and necessary to do. They were on Warped Tour. I feel like everybody who's ever been on Warped Tour is in play for the show.
Sure. Whitechapel wasn't on Warped Tour. I saw something about 303 toured with White, or no, maybe that was Set Your Goals. Toured with Whitechapel at some point.
We're getting our wires crossed.
Too many episodes in a weekend. I'm not mad that we did it. I'll never listen to it again.
It happened, and I figured we should address it.
All right.
And I'm glad we discovered When in Rome.
Yeah.
Or rediscovered. Because every time I saw the movie poster, I had made wild assumptions about that movie, and then you're watching the trailer and you see Will Arnett a few times, and you're like, okay, Bobby Moynihan, Will Arnett, this shit has some juice. Okay.
Do we cover more of the crunk core scene? Let us know.
Yes, please.
At _reminiscent FM. Do you have a song of the week?
Yeah, but I don't want to say it until you go.
I don't have one, and I don't have my phone on me, so I can't even look.
Hold on, let me look one up. I already used up all my buying power with the new Haley Williams project, so
listen to the song 2020 from Knuckle Puck off of their album 2020. Maybe I did do that song already. Listen to anything on that album. That'll be album of the week. It's super good. I've been enjoying it a lot.
I'm barely ever ready when we have to do it like once a week, let alone 8.
I know.
Like nobody should consume music like this. You know what? Let's do this. A band I haven't thought about in a minute. Kings of Leon, Echoing. Coming March 2021, according to Apple Music. When You See Yourself, the album. Yeah, give me Echoing. I'll jump back into the Kings of Leon headspace for a little bit. Never was huge into the band, but they got some stuff. Echoing is a song that came across my desk, as you said earlier in the episode. Came across my desk earlier. That's how I consume music. Okay, anyway.
Somehow they still have time to write songs about girls.
Hey, bruh.
All right. Love you all.
You're taking this to the max.
To
you
the
know what I'm
push.
saying? That was awful. Goodbye. It's over. It's over, man. It's over.
Love you, dude. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right, we really hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for being here. It was a quick one, but it was a lot of fun. It was really great to discuss something a little bit different, and it's always great to hear, maybe not always great, but sometimes great to hear new music that I may have missed at the moment. Please hit us up on Twitter at _reminiscentfm. Let us know what you thought about 303 at the moment, how that perception has changed. Have you seen them at Warped Tour? Have you seen Katy Perry at Warped Tour? Let us know. We'll talk to you all next week. We love you all. Bye, everyone.